Here with LSU Tigers quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Tried to get Gumbo Gunslinger going this time last year. Didn't really get a ton of traction, but we move on. Got to start here, man. More nerves for the first drive, week 1 against Clemson, or proposing?
This is going.
Propose to your girlfriend.
Proposing, dude. I mean, that was definitely proposing. Not even close.
What was the game plan there? What was the story?
Man, I mean, we had a family's lake house in Oklahoma. We had flowers and all that set out, and we had a good game plan. It just still got in the moment, got a little nervous, maybe a couple stutters in there, all that. So it was really cool.
How long you have the ring? Like, because when you get the ring, you're like, it's burning a hole.
I was smart about that. I did not hold on to it for a while. I probably had it. I literally grabbed it and then left the next day. So I only had it for like 2 days. So,
smart.
Yeah, didn't have to hide it or anything like that. I don't know how I would have done that.
Heady play by you. Yes, Heady play, man. Yep. Well, it's funny because this time a year ago, we're sitting in Dallas and we're talking about, hey, why'd you stay at LSU? Probably could have gone a lot of places. A lot of places would have wanted you. Now a year removed from me where you go over 4,000 yards passing, why'd you decide to come back to LSU instead of going pro?
Well, I just couldn't envision anybody else being the quarterback that leads LSU to a national championship. You know, as I've said time and time again, you know, LSU in Louisiana means the world to me. You know, also, you know, my faith is a huge part of why, my why. And, you know, I can just remember times just praying for opportunities to lead LSU to national championship, to have that opportunity and, to have it right in front of my face. You know, it was wrong to turn it down, you know, and so I'm very grateful, very blessed, and very thankful.
How often does that get talked about for y'all internally? Because we heard Coach Kelly talk about it earlier, you know, mention everyone wants to be a national champion, Whitweek saying the same thing. Is that something that's said a lot in y'all's building, is national championship? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we know it's an expectation from us from the outside, but I think the best part about our team now is we have that expectation for ourselves from within as well, you know, and we've kind of flipped into this 1-0 mindset, not in a way of to disregard everything else, but at LSU, you always have an expectation to play and compete for a national championship. And I think in the past, we've looked so far into that result that we've almost gotten lost in what it takes to get there. And I think this year has been more of focusing on the path that it takes and focusing on the process. And obviously, you know, that starts with being 1-0. So obviously, it happens to be Clemson, but I think it's more of just focusing on that first game, attacking it.
Out of the Manning Passing Academy, Cade Klubnik's also there. Any smack talk during that whole deal?
Not much. Cade's a good player. Cade's a good dude. You know, I'm focused on my team. You know, it's not me versus him at the end of the day. You know, it's LSU Tigers versus Clemson. So that's my focus, and that's where my head's at. You
guys went to work in the portal, man. A lot of weapons for that offense for you to get the football to. Was there a moment during spring practice where you're like, hey, this dude is new, been here for 15 minutes, feels like he's been here for forever? Any guy that jumps out like that?
No, absolutely. I mean, we have so much talent. You know, I've told multiple people today, I think the theme you're going to see from us is just the versatility. Like, we just have so many guys that can do so many different things and line up in so many different formations, and use so much different types of motion and put the ball into different guys' hands in so many different ways. And I think it's going to be very special to watch, very explosive. And, you know, I don't know, we have a receiver that runs over a 4.4 right now. So that's a good feeling as a quarterback when you got guys with that much speed. So
when did you realize, like during spring practice, you realized that? Or when were you like, oh, I got to maybe adjust here?
No. I mean, there are definitely some chemistry issues, as you can ask our local media, going on in the deep balls and things like that in the beginning, trying to get those guys' timing and chemistry down. But, you know, throughout the summer and stuff, we got it down pretty good now. So very excited for fall camp and obviously going into the season.
What do you feel like you learned from last year? Because you started a whole year in the SEC. What was like the big takeaway for you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for one, just having a full season to be able to go back and study and watch and correct, being able to spend a full off season focused on that, on how I can improve. It was huge for me. You know, obviously the ones that jump out of the turnovers and the inability to use my legs. And I think as I kind of studied it, it kind of tied together. You know, as a player, I'm an anticipation passer. I'm a drop back quarterback. I'm able to make different layers of throws, and that comes with interceptions. You know, that's going to happen. And the thing that I learned, I think, the most throughout last year is I have to eliminate the turnovers that don't need to happen. The times where I'm trying to extend a play for too long and trying to make something happen when I don't need to, you know. And as I've spoken about multiple times this offseason, I've really focused on, you know, building my body up to be able to use my legs more. And there are times last year where I think that if I would have just put my head down and got back to the line of scrimmage or got 3 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards and slid, it would have eliminated a play where I tried to make something happen and turn the ball over, you know. And so those have been kind of the two biggest things for me.
Everyone on this side of the camera is like, hey, if there's more of a run game for LSU, if Caden Durham has all his toes inside of his foot, like maybe, hey, we got a little extra help from my guy. Those safeties creep up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe maybe that helps things. You know what I'm saying?
I think you'll definitely see an improvement in our run game this year, for sure. But I mean, part of it last year was me and not doing a good enough job managing it, making sure we were in the right run and making the right checks and things. So there are things that I definitely have to own up to and get better at in the run game as well.
Awesome. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU Tiger quarterback. Appreciate your time, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. God bless.
Awesome.